You see the blue lights flashing behind me. You see the military trucks. There are bands tuning up. You want to stay right here on your PBS station, WTCI, because we're going to bring you the 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade in downtown Chattanooga. Coming up right now. Hi, I'm Kelly Williams. You know, your PBS station WTCI is so very proud to bring you the 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade held in Chattanooga. You know, prior to 1949, each branch of the military celebrated separately. But in 1949, then Secretary of Defense Lewis Johnson, he declared the creation of Armed Forces Day. And that would simply unite all four branches of the military in celebrating the serving men and women. In 1950, President Harry Truman announced that it would be an official holiday. So the holiday was scheduled the third Saturday in the month of May. Here in Chattanooga, it's a little bit different because May is winding down the school year with graduations and also the beginning of the vacation season. So the city thought that it might be a good idea to move it up to the first Friday of the month, and that way allowing more families and children to participate in this celebration, because it is a celebration to salute the men and women who are serving in our military branches. Now, each year a branch is identified as the celebrated branch. This year it's the Marines. So we have talked to a lot of Marines, and you will get to hear those interviews, and they are glad to be a part of the team effort which is protecting our country's freedom.
The Armed Forces Day Parade is an observance that we have every year to pay tribute to those who have served active duty in the military and those who are now serving.
Parades like today in Chattanooga, they simply just remind us of what our soldiers and sailors are doing for our country, and we need to take time out to pray for them and to honor them.
Oh, the parade is great. It's an honor to be here as the senior naval officer. Having the community come out and support the military is just terrific.
I didn't know until I got here how patriotic this city is. It's the most patriotic city I've been in. I've been all around the country, obviously a couple places overseas, and I've never seen the patriotism that I've seen here in Chattanooga. We got the red carpet when the Marines went to Iraq in March 2004. We got escorts from everywhere. It was just amazing at the patriotism that Chattanooga has here. And I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'm going to make Chattanooga my home because this is where I'm going to retire at. So
I'm very proud of Chattanooga for doing it, and whether you agree with the politics of what's going on or not, this is for people to let them know that they support the individuals that are going overseas and putting themselves in harm's way.
From my experience as a combat veteran in Vietnam, a lot of times you felt like you were alone and that the country was, the United States was just moving on, and people weren't really paying attention or concerned about the sacrifice you were making. But when you see events like this, you realize that people do care about, what you've done or what you're doing, and you feel a lot better about having served.
Every Armed Forces Day is something our community looks forward to. It's where we recognize our men and women in the armed forces and pay tribute to them.
I've been supporting the parade for many, many years, and we are so proud of the people of Chattanooga and Hamilton County and the entire southeast Tennessee area, because it probably is the most patriotic place of all America. And people from the military will tell you that. They really love coming here, and we love having them here. And there's been some years, because we've had it many, many years, maybe the longest running parade of this nature in the United States. There's been some years when there has been some questions on whether or not we should continue to do this. But I think that the people that live in Chattanooga would revolt if we didn't have the Armed Forces Day Parade.
I think more than many things that we have as celebrations or occasions, it captures the heart of Chattanooga. We've always been a patriotic city, and the fact that we are one city, we are unique, that we've had this celebration of our armed forces for 57 continuous years, I think that's something that Chattanooga can justly be proud of.
This parade is getting ready to start, and I would like to introduce our guest hosts, Earl Friedenberg and Cynthia Vagan. We're going to go up to the reviewing stage with them.
Thank you, Kelly, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade here in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is Hey Earl, along with my co-host this morning, Cynthia Fagan. Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning, Earl, and good morning, everyone. It's a great morning to be out here.
Our VIPs are arriving now. I see Dr. David Bowler and his wife on the reviewing stand. Red Bank Commissioner Howard Cotter, one of our new state representatives, Vince Dean, also the mayor of East Ridge, Bill Bennett, the assessor, City Councilman Jack Benson, Hamilton County Sheriff John Cupp, County Commissioner Larry Henry, Manuel Rico from the Chattanooga City Council, and we thank all of our elected officials. I see Mayor Ron Littlefield over there. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Good to see you. Mayor Ron Littlefield, we thank the city of Chattanooga for providing security for our event, and we thank Hamilton County government for helping to pay the bills. There is some expense involved with the activity, and without the city of Chattanooga and Hamilton County government, why we could not have such an event as this. Also on our reviewing stand this morning, Colonel William F. Todd. He is our reviewing officer. Colonel Todd, we welcome you to the 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade. I see our Grand Marshal, Captain Milton Parsons, has just arrived. How about a big round of applause for Veterans Commissioner John Keys from Nashville, Tennessee. We appreciate your coming in from Nashville and representing the staff and the administration of Governor Phil Bredesen today here at the 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade. Ladies and gentlemen, 3rd District Congressman Zach Wamp. Would you make Congressman Wamp welcome? Congressman Wamp shaking hands with some of our Marine military leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, our 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade is now officially underway. The color guard before the band provided by Navy and Marine Reserve Center here in Chattanooga.
I'm Lance Corporal Morgan.
Hello, I'm Corporal Bissell.
I'm Sergeant Joseph Austin.
My name is Sergeant Lopez. It's an honor for us to do the color guard, to carry the colors and show our pride in the United States and the Marine Corps.
Before the band gets here, why don't you tell us a little bit about them, the Marine Corps Reserve Band from New Orleans.
All right, this band is commanded by Lieutenant General John W. Bergman, and they consist of 50 active duty Marines. They were established in 1978, and now they travel the country and perform for 6 million people each year.
Our job for the Marine Forces Reserve Band is to travel around the country supporting the Marine Forces Reserve, which is actually all over the country. Definitely a highlight for us as far as being in a place that's so patriotic. It's not very often that we get to come out and represent the community, because we're mostly command relations. We get all over the country as far as representing the Marine Forces Reserve, but to be out in the community and help to represent in that way, it really is it's a joy for us. We enjoy doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Marine Reserve Band from New Orleans, Louisiana. These Marines deployed to Iraq from September 4th to March the 5th.
That's right. Our Mike Battery is the Battery M 4th Battalion 14th Marines, and they were here representing the U.S. Marine Corps. Passing the reviewing stand right now are 30 members of the Navy Operational Support Center, commanded by Commander Dave Marston. Leading the troops is Captain Steve Russell.
The National Director, Jack Spittler of the Navy League, Willard Zimmerman, President of the Greater Chattanooga chapter of the Navy League, and driver Captain John Laney, Navy League Secretary.
Following Mr. Spittler are the Naval Sea Cadets Corps. They're sponsored by the Navy League of the U.S. and are attached to the Recruiting Command. The 16 young men and women, aged 17 to 11, are proud cadets, and since 1958, the Naval Sea Cadet Corps has been committed to providing American youth with drug and alcohol-free environments to foster their leadership abilities. Passing the reviewing stand now are members of the Tennessee Air National Guard, 241st Engineering Installation Squadron. They're located here at Level Field. The commander is Lieutenant Colonel Chris Parker, and the detachment commander is Marty Malone, captain.
We install permanent communications. I mean, there's lots of military units that do tactical communications. We do permanent communications, copper cabling, fiber cabling for network, voice, data, and any electronics equipment that might attach to that cabling. But our bread and butter is the cabling that hooks all those communications equipments together.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Coast Guard. The unit in today's parade is from the Marine Safety Detachment in Nashville, Tennessee. On an average day, your United States Coast Guard will enforce security zones, board 4 high-interest vessels, seize drugs, conduct commercial fishing vessel safety exams. These folk really work. Where does Big Flag come from, Cynthia?
This is the Downtown Saturma Club. They are presenting the American flag as they have in the Armed Forces Day Parade since 1963.
We have a huge flag that was bought especially for this purpose. It is quite large. It's 30 feet long and 20 feet wide, and it takes at least 20 people to carry it. But we do it proudly.
Saturma clubs promote patriotism in all their community programs. We're glad that they're here.
The Downtown Sertoma Club. They've been in this parade for over 40 years. And I want to introduce our viewers to Dr. David Bowler. He is the pastor of the Highland Park Baptist Church here in Chattanooga. Dr. Bowler is also out of the Marine Corps, served in Vietnam. Dr. Bowler, what do you think of our celebration here as we honor the men and women who wear the uniform?
It was great, Earl. You know, it's still, you're in this and around this, the emotions. You know, it touches my heart, seeing all the vets, the guys that have been wounded, the sacrifices that have been made, and you really see what this means. And I appreciate our people coming out and honoring them in a special event like this. And I was moved by it.
Now let's go back to the parade. Ladies and gentlemen, would you make welcome the Red Bank High School Junior ROTC unit.
The Red Bank JROTC Lion Battalion is organized into 6 companies of 2 platoons each. They have a total of 184 cadets currently enrolled.
For the past 2 years, Red Bank's cadets have won the nationally awarded Bronze Legion of Valor for leadership and attended Boys State. The battalion is commanded by the Colonel of Cadets, Willie Enix, and the battalion commander is Lieutenant Colonel Joy Kelly. The drill team is commanded by Caleb Wilson. The rifle team is commanded by Brian Craig, and the Raiders team is commanded by Jesse Shaw. The senior Army instructor is Lieutenant Colonel Hugh Enix, and the assistant instructors are Sergeant Major David Lewis and First Sergeant James Maiden. The Gold Star mothers will be passing the reviewing stand here in just a few minutes. Definition of a Gold Star mother is a mother whose son or daughter died while in military service during time of war. These ladies gave their most precious gift for the sake of freedom. There are approximately 17 ladies that will be riding in the parade this morning. Department and local president is Zelma Phillips. Past department president is Joe O'Neill.
Other Gold Star mothers include Irene Franklin, Herta Lemons, Wilma Haitis, and Narva Bramlett. They'll all be passing here shortly.
The Gold Star mothers, ladies and gentlemen.
Following the Gold Star mothers are the Vietnam Veterans Chapter number 203. This is the third largest chapter in the nation, boasting of over 500 members. They're proud owners of the Tennessee Memorial Wall, and they're active in community service within the tri-state area. These men like to follow the Gold Star mothers because they have almost adopted them as their own.
Our next ROTC unit, Cynthia, is the Sale Creek Junior ROTC Panther Battalion, and their battalion motto is Success Through Knowledge.
Following them are the Women Veterans Network. They prove that not all veterans are men, and they're an outreach and education group for women veterans. Today, they've got 30 veterans with them.
And supporters of the Medal of Honor Museum are in the parade today, proudly promoting the Medal of Honor Museum. Today, we're featuring the supporters of the Medal of Honor Museum in the parade. We also remember Alvin York, who during World War I was awarding the Medal of Honor for his valor in single-handedly breaking up 35 machine gun nests and led captive 150 German soldiers. We are proud of the memory of Alvin York as a Tennessee volunteer and Christian. This year, Cynthia, all of the different high schools, or most of the different high schools here in Hamilton County, put together what we call a big mass band. This band is made up of nearly 400 students from various county high schools: Central High, East Ridge, Ooltewah High, Red Bank High School, and Soddy Daisy High School. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Hamilton County Mass Band. Cynthia, that big flag is very impressive. Carried by a group of our Hamilton County students. We also want to thank some band directors: Central High School's band director Molly Epperson, East Ridge High School director Perry Vandegrift, Ooltewah High School director Joel Denton, Red Bank High School Director Marcy Hunter and Soddy Daisy High School Director Rick Chambers.
Following the mass band, we'll see the International Military Vehicle Preservation Association. They also dress in appropriate uniforms to match the vehicles. They show in parades, rallies, museums, and meetings to help promote confidence and respect for the armed forces. Now passing the reviewing stand is the Soddy Daisy High School JROTC Trojan Battalion, commanded by Cadet Colonel Thomas Pelham. This unit was formed in 1980 and has received Honor Unit and Honor Unit with Distinction, as well as various other performance accolades every year throughout its 25-year history.
The Tri-State Chapter of the Merchant Marines passing our reviewing stand next. The Merchant Marines carried ammunition, fuel, and other supplies needed by our forces all over the world, in spite of having the highest percentage of casualty rate over any other armed forces. 1 in every 24 men killed by torpedoes, planes, mines, or surface raiders. They delivered the goods where needed most, in spite of the hazards that they had to face.
Now we're seeing the Veterans for Good Government. They work for the military through supporting good government and election of patriotic officials.
Passing the reviewing stand now is the battalion of the Ooltewah High School. The battalion is 125 members strong and continues to be recognized as an honor unit with distinction.
Approaching the reviewing stand now are the World War I Ladies Auxiliary 2063 with past National President Edith Whitman and Department of Tennessee President Karen Shirley. Here are representatives of the Ernie Pyle Chapter 1945 Military Order of Purple Heart. They gave their yesterdays for everyone's tomorrows.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hickson High School Air Force Junior ROTC Unit. 100 members. The Corps Commander is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel J.C. Comer. The Hickson High School Air Force Junior ROTC Unit.
The next entry is the Electric Power Board, and we're very excited to have them here because they have chosen to support the Armed Forces Day Parade in honor of their employees who serve in the Armed Forces Reserve and National Guard. For many years, EPB's people and vehicles have participated in our annual Armed Forces Day Parade. In addition, Dr. Shock and salute our veterans and those on active duty, many of whom are our own sons, daughters, and co-workers. Thank you, EPB.
And a big thank you, Cynthia, to the Electric Power Board. Their crews put up the flags that line Market Street here during our parade. Thank you, Power Board, for putting up the banners for the parade.
Now we're seeing the Disabled American Veterans. Chapter 6 is commanded by Mr. Torona Shivers. This is an organization devoted to the cause of improving and advancing the condition, health, and interest of all wounded, gassed, injured, and disabled veterans. The organization membership consists of veterans who were disabled during a time of war while serving in the armed forces for our country. They organize drivers to drive veterans to the VA medical clinics, and we really appreciate all of their hard work and support.
The Brainerd High School Junior ROTC Panther Battalion passing our reviewing stand. In its 12th year of experience and currently 122 cadets strong.
Let's now give a warm welcome to VFW 4848. The Wilkes T. Thrasher Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 4848 Commander is Bob Blair, a Korean veteran of the Navy, serving his 5th term as Post Commander.
I believe it's time for Central High School's ROTC.
That's right, this is the First for Freedom Battalion. They were established in 1919. First for Freedom Battalion is commanded by Cadet Colonel Shane Tanner. The executive officer is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Lauren Clark.
The Central High School Junior ROTC Battalion with 185 members. Chattanooga Area Veterans Council is grateful to our Hamilton County Schools, Colonel Tom McConnell, for supporting the parade and getting the young people down here to march in our parade.
Now we're seeing the James Craig Loader, Post 148 of the American Legion. They're located at St. Elmo here in Chattanooga, and their adjutant, Hunter Byington, is driving his own 1938 Cadillac. He's pretty proud of that caddy. And the commander of this post is Pete Heisey. Let's give a warm welcome to the Chattanooga chapter of the Military Officers Association of America. President Bud Connolly is representing the 400,000 national members that work to promote legislation for our service members.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you make welcome the Eastridge High School Junior ROTC. The Pioneer Battalion is commanded by Cadet Colonel Zach Leftwich. The senior Army instructor is Colonel Paul Christopher.
This unit was established in 1968 and has marched in all but one of the Chattanooga Area Armed Forces Day parades. They are 140 members strong.
We also want to thank Channel 45 Public Television here in Chattanooga for making a recording of today's parade. And when you see your Channel 45 personalities and their fundraising events, be sure to call in that pledge and support public television, because when you support public television, you're supporting projects like the Armed Forces Day Parade telecast here in Chattanooga.
Coming before the reviewing stand now are the Citizen Soldiers for the Atomic Bomb. Leader Mrs. Stacy M. Griffin from Evansville, Tennessee. This group actively supports our country's armed forces and its veterans annually at the Tennessee's Y-12 plant in Oak Ridge. Now, freedom is not free. All gave some, and some gave all. From the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 942. This float is approaching with a casket covered with the American flag, with 2 live Marines as honor guard at each end of the casket.
The Vietnam Veterans of America, in service to America, urging you to remember our POWs and MIAs.
The American Legion, William E. Blair Post 95, is located here on Ringgold Road in East Ridge. The Legionnaires Band of Post number 95 is led by Joe Chambers.
The American Legion Post 95 Honor Guard, John Skinner, Commander. The Post 95 Commander and East Tennessee 3rd District Commander of the Department of Tennessee, Bill Norton. And Post 95 Ladies Auxiliary President, Barbara Crabtree. The American Legion Post 95 Legionnaires.
Wrapping up our event today is the American Red Cross. They serve as a communication link between members of the U.S. Armed Forces and their families in time of personal and family crisis.
Well, Cynthia, it's been fun doing the Armed Forces Day Parade with you. I believe this is your first time to join us, isn't it?
It is, and it's only my second time to see the parade. I'm pretty new to Chattanooga, so I'm honored that you included me in today's event.
Well, you did a great job, and I appreciate you working with me. And I appreciate our fine folk at Channel 45 for making a telecast of the parade available, and hope that folk at home enjoyed the parade. And now we're going to say, you folks have a good day, fly your flag, and let's go back to Kelly. Kelly, I had a good time. I hope you had a good time.
I have had a great time. Earl, I would like to thank you, Earl Friedenberg and Cynthia Fagan, for being such a big part of today's program, the 57th Annual Armed Forces Day Parade. Your public television station, WTCI, is so very pleased and honored to be able to bring you a program like this, showing all this patriotism that is in our community. We also hope you enjoyed the program today, and we hope that you will continue to support your PBS station, WTCI, so that we can continue to show off our community just like we did today. In closing, I'm Kelly Williams, and I would like to say that our thoughts and our prayers go with the men and women who are serving in all branches of our military, and also those who have served and those who will serve in the future. We thank you for watching.